What is going on, everybody?
What is
Brave
going on,
Slash here.
guys?
We are back
with
the Pound and Slash Marvel Media Podcast. This is Comic Corner number 14.
I am Pound.
I'm Slash.
And Pound and Slash, which is
we are PNS.
PNS. There you go. You keep that. We're going to trademark that. That and unscribed from like life. That will be our T-shirts. Pound and Slash.
We're going to need at least 9,900 and so many more subs before merch comes out.
Yeah, OnlyFans that shit.
Like 10,000 listeners across Spotify, and it's going to be a few years.
Yeah, forever.
Forever. We actually have a fun lineup for you guys. I actually think, over and above all,
Yeah, no, all these are good.
this is the best week we've had in terms of stories from all the comics
Usually
combined.
we get like one or...
I'm not going to say it's got the best story we've read so far, but it's the best collection of stories. There's not really a bad one.
Right, usually we only get one. No, usually we get two bad ones.
Usually
like,
we get at least 2 to 3.
two to three, and it's like, wait, what are we reading here? What is this?
So I'm super excited to jump into this. We're not going to waste any time. I'm going to go ahead and switch our banner off, and we're going to pull up, because again, we're doing this a new way. There is our little infographic that we're going to keep on screen for you to watch if you were watching this on YouTube. Again, this is Comic Corner Week 14. As you can see, last week's MVP was Mr. Fantastic. So currently, we have the Impossible Man, the Incredible Hulk, Spider-Man, Merlin, and Mr. Fantastic, and Paste Pot Pete, who, by the way, comes back in one of the comics this week. So we'll see if he keeps his spot, or does he change? What ridiculous person will Ralph choose next?
Oh, man, you don't know, man. You never know.
I do, but...
Yeah.
I'm not going to ruin it.
Nah.
Watch the episode. Or fast forward. One of the two.
All three of you subscribers and the cat, like, just fast forward it.
All right. So, starting off with the Marvel Trivia Question of the Week.
No.
Don't look at it.
Fuck. My bad.
Cheater.
My bad.
When
Sorry.
Korvac... Actually, you're allowed to look at it because this isn't for you anyways. I just like
right.
to see if you know the answer.
I wasn't paying attention. I was not paying attention.
When Korvac travels to Earth during the Korvac saga, what first name does he take?
Who the fuck is Korvac?
That's why we're reading the comics. Again, none of these questions will ever match up with anything we're currently reading.
Well,
We probably
watch. One day we are gonna get a question that will probably match up. What these things?
It will be random as fuck, and
It'll be
it
so
won't
random.
even be on purpose. It'll be like, whoa,
Bro, what the fuck?
pretty much. All right, so stick around, and we'll get the answer at the end of this. Okay, so starting off, the first thing we read, The Amazing Spider-Man #3 versus Dr. Octopus.
Yeah.
Published July 10th, 1963, written by Stan Lee, penciled and inked by Steve Ditko.
Yep.
By the way, it has one of my favorite covers so far, too. It's Spider-Man being hung up
Yeah.
by arms. Now, fun fact, though. Did you notice in the cover of the comic, he's got his webbing
Yeah.
things, but he doesn't actually have it in the comics yet?
Yeah. The webbing shit that's supposed to make him fly, I guess.
Glide.
Glide. No, glide. Hit the X button twice. I'm sorry.
All right, so some people we're going to see in this, obviously Peter Parker / Spider-Man,
Spider-Man.
which I have the pictures reversed, but whatever. Dr. Otto Octavius, who's also known as Doc Ock, Aunt May, J. Jonah Jameson, and the Human Torch, also known as Johnny Storm.
Surprise. We're doing more crossovers. Boom.
Yeah. So we begin with Spidey stopping petty criminals, wishing he'd have an actual challenge. Meanwhile, Dr. Otto Octavius is using his metal arms to conduct a radiation experiment, which explodes, and he gets carried out of the wreckage to a hospital. We find out Doc Ock has brain damage, and when he wakes up, he thinks everyone is jealous of him because of the brain damage. He waits in his room until someone walks in, and he takes him hostage. Peter tells JJ that he's going to get him some pics of Doc Ock and heads to the hospital as Spidey. He crawls up to Doc Ock's window, where he hears that Doc has people captured. As they argue, Spidey jumps in and starts to fight Doc, but basically gets his ass whooped and thrown out the window.
Yeah, pretty much ass whoop. I mean, he tried forever, but yeah, he knew he was gonna catch this work.
He didn't know, but he definitely caught that work.
Oh, right. He didn't know. Well, no, he knew because he wanted to fight somebody challenging. Well, there's your answer. Shit.
Right.
You weren't ready.
During the scuffle, the captured folk escape, so
Right.
Doc leaves before the cops arrive. And he goes to a radiation plant. Inside, he takes over, so the National Guard place sentries outside to make sure people can't come in or leave. Not that, they would be able to stop Doc Ock if he decided he was going to leave.
Right.
Peter is moping at home, calls JJ to tell him he's not going to be able to get any pictures, and then Aunt May tries to talk to him, but Peter ignores her and walks out.
That makes me. I'm sorry, that should have made me laugh. I just thought that was funny.
Right. And then he ignores the kids at school too.
Oh God, he's having a moment. He's like, bitch.
He's being a little whiny bitch.
He's like, I could have got him. Like, well, no, I don't know, coach.
He says he's there to. Oh, I'm sorry. I fucking. There we go. At school, there's an assembly where Human Torch is talking to the other kids. He says he's there to stop Doc Ock, but has to wait a few days because he has a cold. But he does tell them that the key to life is to never give up, never surrender.
Always remember the Marine. I'm sorry.
I was going Galaxy Quest.
I was going the Marines.
And you did some weird shit.
I know that was Galaxy
We're
Quest.
here to be nerds, sir.
I was thinking the Marines.
But yeah, so the key to life is to never give up. The Fantastic Four have lost and come back and always end up winning.
Would that be for
Peter, newly inspired, runs up, thanks him, and leaves. Spidey heads back out to confront Doc Ock. Inside, Doc Ock tries to set traps for Spidey, but Spidey dodges them all using his spider senses. He then makes a weapon in a lab, which is basically like lassos with some sort of chemical mixture wrapped in them or whatever. I don't know how the fuck he got them attached. Who knows?
Right. Don't care. Let's keep moving, right? It's like, who knows? Don't care.
Right. So he goes out to confront Doc. Spidey manages to use the lassos with chemicals to meld two of Doc's arms together.
Yep.
And then webs Doc's face. And as he gets close enough to him, he punches Doc and knocks him out with one punch. He super webs Doc up and then calls the guards in to take him into custody. Spidey then goes to Torch's hotel room to thank him, to let him know that Doc Ock has been taken care of. Torch is confused as Spidey heads out, and then Torch performs the stunts for Peter's school as Peter is just happy he won. So first off, I gave this issue a 5 out of 5.
No, 5 for real.
This issue was fantastic, and here's the thing. 99.9% of the time, I am going to take a point or two away completely for a hero being a whiny bitch.
Or they lose to the villain. Like, no, I mean, not lose.
No, losing happens.
I mean, not lose happens, but like the villain gets away, especially when you had him cornered. Like you know, someone
that doesn't even bother me.
That bothers me.
It's attitude is what gets me.
Right.
It's how you overcome or deal with what's going on.
Right, but you gotta remember, Peter Parker's high school, so he's just
right.
He's going through everything.
So typically in a situation like this, I'm 100% going to be like, you know what, Peter's being a whiny bitch.
Right.
This is like a 3 or 4 out of 5.
Because he literally didn't want to talk to nobody.
Right.
He got his ass beat.
But this is also early Peter Parker. This is a part of his development.
Right.
He got a little bit of inspiration from Human Torch, even if it was cheesy.
And then he said Fantastic Four always win. I laugh. I'm sorry. I'm like, sure. The winning is an understatement. I'm not saying they don't win, but it's how they win.
Yeah, it's usually by luck.
Right. Or blinding somebody permanently. But yeah.
Right.
I can't say.
But plus we get the crossover with Human Torch, which definitely boosts it up a little bit for me. Because again, anytime we get crossovers or new characters added, I'm going to be excited. Because
I'm the whole cross with Fantastic Four. I'm like, let's go.
We're developing
like
the
a
Marvel
universe. We're developing the universe right there in front of us. Right.
I loved it. So I gave it a 5 out of 5. Plus, obviously, we know that Doc Ock will be back.
Right.
He is a constant pain in Spider-Man's side.
Right. And he's in the movie, too.
True. All right, next up. Strange Tales number 109, The Sorcerer and Pandora's Box. This was published June 1st, 1963, written by Stan Lee and R. Burns, penciled by Jack Kirby, inked by Dick Ayers.
Boys.
This was surprisingly a really, really good issue.
Because this could have been a shitty one, and I could have been like, well, 1 out of 5. Here we fucking go. Because when he faced new villains, Torch just like shuts down, bro.
So the characters that we see in this issue are the Fantastic Four as a whole. So you're going to see Johnny Storm. Right. It's technically his comic at this point. You're going to see Mr. Fantastic. You're going to see the Thing. You're going to see the Invisible Girl. And then we also see a character by the name of the Sorcerer, who basically just looks like an old dude who's just always pissed off because kids are running on his lawn. But we'll get there.
Stoop kid, stupid on the stoop.
Get off my fucking lawn.
Get off my lawn. Go get him, Sparky.
So we begin with the Torch, home from school early, asking the team if he can go on their next mission with him, and they're like, nah. Go do your schoolwork. I think it's funny, by the way, that any Fantastic Four issue, They're like all together, always doing stuff all together, but all the Human Torch issues, they're like, go away.
Well, then in Spider-Man, it's like, where the hell you get this hotel? You got money? You robbed a bank. Where the hell did you get this hotel money, bro? Right. Aren't they like somewhat broke? I mean, semi-broke, not all the way broke. They like,
no, they keep money for travel and shit like that.
Oh, okay. I was like, damn, bro, where are they getting all this shit?
And bills.
You said what?
And bills.
And bills, of course. Oh, man.
So they say no, they send him off. Torch decides he's going to fly around, does a few small heroic things like putting out a burning building, cleaning water from a train track so that it doesn't slide off the tracks, etc. Little things.
A burning building and you're on fire.
Yeah, he absorbed the fire.
I mean, yeah. When I read it, I was like, I didn't think about for my brain to process. Like, wait a minute, you fire? How you gonna you gonna kill everybody, bro?
Right.
I'm gonna help you. No.
So among those things that he did was one of the things that he did was he stopped a guy that the town calls the Sorcerer,
right,
from using his dogs to attack kids on his property. Torch basically embarrasses him and then carries the kids off to safety. As the Sorcerer swears to get back at Torch, he's received Pandora's box in a crate full of Greek artifacts, and all he has to do is figure out how to open it.
Man, just crack that bitch. Literally.
So then a couple weeks later, the Sorcerer uses the box to rob a bank, which he uses hatred and forgetfulness out of the box. And then he uses sleepiness and paralysis to rob an art exhibit. Mm-hmm. Torch and the police chief talk as Torch realizes who's doing it. He's also being framed, by the way. Torch is being framed for these crimes.
Right, let that sink in. It's like, what? He's causing fire everywhere?
Right.
Damn. He can't even turn this shit on. No, let me...
So...
he can't even turn this shit on sometimes. Damn, all right.
Torch confronts the Sorcerer. Sorcerer uses Flood to put out Johnny's flame. Cops show up, and Sorcerer uses foolishness, laziness, and laughter on the cops to stop them. Johnny then asks if he can pick his death. And feeling generous, Sorcerer agrees, and Johnny picks fire, and the Sorcerer agrees with it. He lost, by the way, because he's dumb.
Yeah, he's just a dumb. Because you just put out fire, so now you're like, let's give him more fire.
So Johnny absorbs the fire,
of course,
steals the box, welds it shut, and then drops it in the deepest part of the ocean, who I'm sure
with
fucking Namor will find.
I was going to say John Cousteau.
And then later the cops come to arrest Sorcerer, who has succumbed to the fear imp and is now afraid of everyone. And then the Fantastic Four team is back from their mission, and they congratulate Johnny on the good job.
Yeah, whatever.
I give this issue a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, I give it a 4.
The Sorcerer as a character's dumb. Yeah. He's just an idiot. But using the imps that come out of Pandora's box was really cool, and the way they did the art for the imps was really nice.
No, the whole thing was cool, and then the fear imp, man, he's afraid of everything.
It wasn't like we were getting alien stories again.
That's what I was waiting for, or hypnotized story,
or any crazy shit like that. Like, it was actually a really well done story,
right?
And something different. And yes,
and I like us. They still keep treating Human Torch like a bitch. Hey, can I no. All right. Thanks for talking. Even you, sis. Thank you. Like, use a bitch. I wish. No, let me phrase it. And Sue Storm told her, the brother, use a bitch.
Right. All right, next up, Tales to Astonish, number 44, which is Ant-Man and the Wasp versus the creature from Cosmos. Or Cosmos, if you want to, have fun saying the name. Published on June 1st, 1963, written by Stan Lee and A.C. Huntley, penciled by Jack Kirby, inked by Don Heck.
Hey, Don Heck's back. Cool.
Yeah. And as we proceed... We are going to run across Janet Van Dyne, / the Wasp.
Right.
Henry Pym, / the Ant-Man. Maria Pym, who actually happens to be somebody Henry used to be married to.
Right.
Which I thought that was a nice little twist.
Right, because they're not together.
Dr. Vernon Van Dyne, who is Janet's dad, also a fellow scientist. And then the creature from Cosmos, or Cosmos, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. K-O-S-M-O-S. So we start with Ant-Man returning to his lab, where he remembers, he has like a flashback moment where he remembers his ex-wife, Maria. Mm-hmm. Maria was newly married to Henry, and her father were from Russia. They had escaped to America. She fell in love with Henry, they got married, and now Henry and Maria are returning to Russia for their honeymoon, thinking no one would recognize her. However, while waiting for a taxi, she was kidnapped, and Henry was knocked out in the process.
Oh, God.
Later, they find her dead.
Yeah.
with a note on her basically saying Mother Russia never forgets, or you can't escape the steel curtain or some shit like that.
Oh, God.
And back at home, her dad's lab was blown up with him in it. Now, first off,
yeah,
this is the darkest moment so far in the Marvel Universe for me.
Yeah, I've never read that in a comic before, at all.
I mean, we've seen Uncle Ben get shot. Well, we didn't see him get shot.
No, that was like off camera. This was like a full-blown murder. Like, damn, all right.
But, like, dude, they returned to Russia because she wanted to visit home.
Right.
For a honeymoon. Like, they're newly married. And they end up kidnapping
and they
her.
thought maybe nobody wasn't even going to see her. I said, dude.
And they end up kidnapping her, offing her off, and then killing their dad back in America by blowing up the... Come on, yo. That's some dark shit.
Bro, like, you don't... I would never... That's your first mistake. You don't go back to the place that said, hey, you know they're following... They know they're going to find you. I'm like, oh, let's go for honeymoon. Fuck that. We ain't... Why? You played your... I played myself, man. I never would have done that. Especially, you know, they're following you, like, literally finding you. Like, what? No.
So, Henry tries to find the people that did it, but eventually ends up in jail.
Yeah.
He was then released and sent home and remembered what his wife had said to him. And her exact quote was, "Go to the ants, thou sluggard," because he was lazy. Apparently. Which is when he started researching ants to become what he is today. AntMan.
Right.
So, present day, he does realize that he at least needs a partner to stop crime.
Right.
And just like that, Dr. Vernon Van Dyne shows up at his door.
Yeah.
Because, you know, reasons.
Because that drives the story.
Right. And he asks Henry for his help with a new ray that he's trying to use to contact other planets. He happens to bring his daughter, Janet.
Right.
She reminds Henry of Maria by the way she acts, but younger. She also finds him attractive, but also thinks he's probably boring because he's a scientist. Pym turns down Dr. Vernon's request for help because it isn't in his field of work.
Yeah.
So Pym returns to work. Later, Vernon figures out on his own how to boost the ray, and Janet decides while this is going on, she's going to go out, party, dance, do whatever.
Oh, yeah. Do whatever you want.
Young girls did back then.
Right.
The ray ends up pulling in a monster from the planet Cosmos who was a criminal there.
Right.
Who almost completely took over his planet before he was stopped. The monster ends up killing Vernon.
Yep. Man, that's 2 deaths we have seen on this damn comic, bro.
And destroys the machine that brought him so no one else could follow him.
Right.
And then Janet returns home to find her father dead.
Yeah.
Y'all, this is one of the darkest issues.
Right. This is... Whoa.
I was like, what? So much death.
2 deaths in one fucking issue.
Technically 3. Maria and her dad.
Fuck, bro, what the house explosion?
And then Janet's dad.
Dude, what the hell?
Don't be a dad in the Marvel Universe.
They don't make it.
Right.
Unless you're ego, then you're celestial.
Janet ends up calling Henry for help.
Right.
He says that he'll come over, but he actually doesn't believe her until the ants tell him that it actually happened.
Right.
Ant-Man goes and talks to Janet, and she says she'd do anything to get justice. So he's like, yo, go to Henry Pym's lab immediately. I'll meet you there.
Right. And
on the way home, the ants tell Ant-Man that there were traces of formic acid. And they know that because they secrete formic acid, so they can sense it. Weird-ass fucking ants.
Right. What the hell? Mutant ants, man.
So he gets there. Janet shows up. He reveals to her that he's Ant-Man and offers her a chance to be Wasp, and she accepts. They do some experimentation in terms of, like, injecting her with things so that when she shrinks, she sprouts wings and antennae so that she can talk to bugs as well.
Right.
Some weird shit.
I'm about to say a snuggle struggle.
There was none of that. So the monster then attacks the city, and Ant-Man and Wasp head out. Janet is starting to fall in love with Henry.
That's because it was in a potion.
Right. But Henry says no because she's just a child.
Oh, God.
Which pushes her to attack the monster head on to prove that she's not a child.
Oh, Lord.
In the process, she almost gets sucked into the monster.
Pause.
Henry grabs her. They head back to the lab where he creates a solution that should cause the monster to break apart. And he loads the solution inside of shotgun shells. They return to the site, manage to make the monster evaporate using the shotgun shells. Janet gets excited. Henry basically tells her, don't show that much emotion. It's unprofessional. Don't be a dick, Henry. But then she's like, no, he just likes me. He just won't admit it. Fucking women. No. Back at the lab, Henry tells the police chief that it's over, and Janet thinks to herself how much she loves him, but she will stay just his partner as he wishes until the time's right.
Man, this is some Earth Mightiest Hero shit. So this is the start of her being just that one that's like, I'm gonna fight battle, and then get clapped. Damn it.
Next thing you know, Captain America's gonna smash her with his
with
shield.
the shield again. I knew you were gonna go back to that stupid shit. Oh, I saved you before.
So I actually gave this issue a 5 out of 5 as well.
Yeah, I gave it a 4 out of 5.
This issue. Here's the thing.
Well, with the death. Yeah.
Over and above all, I would have just given it a 4. Were it not for how dark this issue really is. You think about it, we get to basically somewhat witness 2 deaths.
Yeah.
One of them we do get to witness.
Wow. Yeah.
Which is Janet's dad. Which I think he got his neck broke. Because it said he kept turning and turning until...
You heard like the
right.
noise. Said,
So we got to actually see that one. Maria's was off screen. Maria Pims.
Yeah. And the other one was a house explosion.
And then the other one was also off screen.
Boom.
It was just mentioned in kind of like flyby conversation.
But the fact that you actually saw her body, like you saw the bodies, like, or the body, so I was like, whoa.
I was like, you didn't see her body.
No, I didn't see the body. Yeah, no, my bad. Sorry.
But no, so yeah, just killing off 3 people like that. Like, dude, I loved it. I need more death in the Marvel Universe. A lot more.
Just a lot more. We lose some main characters. Oh no, Incredible Hulk, you lost your love interest. We can have technology to bring her back.
Look, our favorite character, his uncle died.
You're right, Uncle Ben. So that was like, started that going down.
So yeah.
Altogether, we got about, what, 5 deaths that love it, or, that mean important to a main character so far in the Marvel Universe.
Now for the dumbest issue that we read this week.
Oh,
and it's still good. It's still good.
Yeah.
Tales of Suspense, issue number 42, Iron Man Trapped by the Red Barbarian. This was published June 1st, 1963, written by Stan Lee and R. Burns, penciled and inked by Don Heck.
Hey.
That's a fun little cover.
Yeah, it's... these covers actually tell you a lot about what's going to go down, man. They really do. They really express that shit. You don't really see that much anymore.
Right.
From comics, at least.
This is featuring Anthony Stark / Iron Man, a villain by the name of the Red Guardian, and then another villain by the name of the Actor, which might as well just be fucking Chameleon. Anyways.
He's like, that's Chameleon. I knew it.
We start with a Russian warship bringing in a box that Iron Man happens to break out of, which was really cool, by the way.
Bro, he did the most...
I didn't even actually expect it at this point. I didn't think we were just starting off with this shit.
Bro, that's some action shit for real.
Now I'm going to be expecting it. Don't hide in any more boxes, Iron Man.
I was going to say, put him in more boxes.
I will call your bullshit.
Put him in more boxes. I was just just come out of like everything.
But in the process of them trying to open it, he breaks out of it.
Well, he's gone.
Iron Man captures the Russians on the ship. He celebrates with the police chief about stopping another Russian sleeper cell.
Right.
He heads back to his lab to show off a new ray gun that he can use to disintegrate things. Meanwhile, the Red Guardian is trying to find someone who can steal Anthony's death ray plans.
Right.
Someone comes in dressed as what I think is supposed to be Stalin.
Right. Yeah.
And he takes that mask off, and it's a guy by the name of the Actor, who is basically Chameleon but Russian.
Right.
The Red Guardian sends him to steal the plans. He's like, hey, you can pretend to be anybody.
And I said, oh my God, the Red Guardian, let's go. I'm sorry, I just had a little moment there from Black Widow.
Right. Different Red Guardian.
Hell yeah, no, I wish that Red Guardian was in Black Widow, but that's the point.
So the Actor pretends to be a senator to have Stark go to a meeting that doesn't actually exist.
Right.
After Stark leaves, the Actor dresses as Stark, infiltrates Stark's base with some other Russians dressed as guards. The Actor finds gold suit parts, discovering that Tony is actually Iron Man. He's the first person to find this out.
Right.
They find the plans for the Ray, and then the Actor decides he's going to leave while the fake guards stick around and assassinate the real Tony Stark. He then tells the actual guards outside to take the night off. His guards were going to wait and make sure Tony Stark arrived safely. Well, he didn't, not to make sure that the real Tony arrived safely. He just said they were going to stick around because he's supposed to be Tony.
Right. We got you taken care of. We're just waiting for Stark to come in. We got you.
Right. So Tony does finally get back home. He gets attacked, but his metal plates end up protecting him from the bullets, although the enemies can't tell for whatever reason. Bullets just bounce off people, That's normal. He turns out the lights, becomes Iron Man in the process, and then takes a rocket. He ends up beating the crap out of them.
Yeah.
And then he takes an actual space rocket to fly into space, just to fly back down from space,
right.
To land and basically beat Hector back to where Hector is supposed to, or not back, Hector, Actor.
Actor, right.
I misread that. Back to Russia. As Actor leaves from the landing strip in Russia, Iron Man stops him, picks up the car, and basically ties the car to a tree.
Right.
I don't know what he uses to tie it. That was something I didn't understand.
Oh, I thought it was like rope, like some rope.
It might have been.
I thought it was rope he used to tie it.
So yeah. Pins him to a tree, taking his plans back, and then Iron Man goes to the Red Guardian's hideout with the plans, pretending to be the actor dressed up as Iron Man. Now, see, this is one of the reasons I really liked this issue.
Because if he could do that, I'm like, yep, I'm going to pretend I'm Iron Man. Let's go.
I was like, Tony's smart.
Right.
Tony's actually really smart. All right. So, he then tells the Red Guardian that the suitcase is time-protected locked.
Right.
So, it only unlocks at a certain time. And this case will explode if opened otherwise. Iron Man then leaves the case there and ends up going back to let the actor go.
Right.
And then he starts to head home.
Right.
The actor returns, says that he lost the plans, and Red Guardian starts to flip the fuck out, thinking that, because he was like, you were just here. And the dude was like, no, I was not just here. He's like, you lie.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
He's like, are you trying to double cross me?
Right. Because...
And they get into this huge argument. Right. And the actor goes to try and tell him, hey, I know who Iron Man really is.
Nope.
And the Red Guardian's like, you know what?
I don't give a fuck.
Somebody take care of him.
Yep, that's it.
And he ends up getting killed.
Yep.
Which they don't show or anything like that. But as the last panel in the comic shows Iron Man flying away and somebody on the inside is like, Red Guardian, we've completed what you needed us to do.
Right.
And... that's it. So the one guy who knew who Iron Man was now no longer exists because Tony is a goddamn genius. The way he played that out, dude.
It's okay. He did they did the Walking Dead thing. Just look at the flowers.
Right.
Look at the flowers.
And I lied. I forgot that's what this was that issue. By the way, I actually gave this a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, 4 out of 5. It was cool. This was that bad. I liked it.
It's the best Tony issue so far, for sure.
For sure. Now it's got to go, which we probably know. My next section might be bad, but hopefully it keeps going good from here because that was not bad at all, actually.
I hope we get more really fun, entertaining stories, and I love seeing and again, use Tony to be super smart. That's what he is.
Right.
And you keep running with stories like this, I'm gonna fucking love it.
Right. But don't give me stories where it's like, oh, my flame powers can't reach him because I thought I was flammable.
Right.
That should be what Journey to Mystery, isn't it? No, it's
Strange
now it's the Strange Tale. Pace Pop Pete versus the Wizard. Let's go.
All right.
Let's do it.
So, this is Strange Tales, issue number 110. We're actually getting 2 stories here.
2 stories into one.
And what we've started doing, we're no longer splitting up the 2 stories into 2 separate quote-unquote comics.
Right.
We're now, if one comic has 2 stories, 3 stories, 4 stories in it, it's still just going to count as one comic so we can move faster. We would have been...
Right.
It's honestly already slowed us down as is.
Right.
So this way, we'll be able to progress faster through the thing. So... this was story A is Human Torch versus the Wizard and Pace Pot Pete.
Right.
Story C is Doctor Strange, Master of Black Magic. Mm-hmm. So we actually get the real Doctor Strange,
and not that quirky looking thing.
Not that weird villain.
Week. The one that says I am Doctor Strange too. So,
maybe we'll get a Doctor Strange versus Doctor Strange.
I would not mind saying that. I mean, our Doctor Strange would
whoop his ass.
Yeah, we'll beat the holy fuck out of that dude. Barely inconvenience.
Right. So this was published July 1st, 1963, written by Stan Lee and R. Burns. Story A was penciled and inked by Dick Ayers.
Yeah.
And then story C was penciled and inked by Steve Ditko.
Okay.
So, Story A, which we will start off here.
Right.
This features the Human Torch, Fantastic Four, the Wizard, Pace Pop Pete. I was wrong, by the way. The last Human Torch story we read, I said he was set up. That did not happen in that one. It happens in this one. I was mixing all of my Human Torch stories.
So many Human Torch stories. So many.
All right. So we start with the Torch training to stay in shape. He stops training and then goes to study, but starts thinking back on the Wizard and Pace Pot Pete and how he stopped them, wondering what they are up to now. After a brief flashback of the two battles, we get Paste Pot Pete hiding out and planning to break Wizard out of jail.
Yep.
After a couple weeks of spying on the prison, Pete steals a food truck, goes into the prison, where he humbles all of the guards, and breaks Wizard out. Super easy, barely inconvenience.
Yep, let him out.
Wizard then throws a pill at the gate, which causes an explosion, opens the gate, they drive out. Although Paste Pot Pete rescued Wizard, Wizard still considers himself the leader of this duo, and Pete's not really keen on that.
Yeah, Pete was not feeling that shit.
He's kind of like, I don't know if I like this, but I'm going to ride with it and see what happens.
Right. But if you fail me, firing squad.
Right.
Somebody handle this.
So Torch is then framed by a bank or for a bank robbery, which if you guys remember, one of the Wizard's things that he has this costume that allows him to pretend to be the Human Torch.
Right. Which I don't know how people can't tell the fucking difference.
I mean, he's only the second person that's done this. The first one being a Skrull.
Right, a Skrull. But this one, I don't know. Like, I feel like you could tell, bro.
Like at this point, I'm pretty sure everyone knows. Everyone in the Fantastic Four are good guys.
Right, bro, because when I read this, I didn't know where the story was going, bro. For real, I'm like, bro, we're starting this off with, 5 already.
Right. So, Torch is framed for a bank robbery, but the police know it isn't him.
Right.
The Fantastic Four to call to make sure Johnny is okay.
What? Yeah.
And he's like, yo, I got this.
Right.
I got this.
Got this shit.
And Torch realizes that this has to be the work of the new baddie team-up.
How the hell would you know that? Never mind.
At school, the kids don't know if Johnny did the crime or not. And Johnny sees the poster for the school play and gets an idea.
All right.
That night, Wizard dons his fake Human Torch outfit to rob one of the world's richest men on the street. But as he tries to... By the way, guys, my spelling is terrible as I'm sitting here trying to read this. I'm like, what the fuck? Street is not spelled S-T-R-E-A-T.
Yes, it is.
So as he tries to intimidate the man turns into the Human Torch, who is wearing makeup. Torch ends up flying after them, and they run into their base. As Johnny comes in, they slam the door and use a wind tunnel to push Torch through a trapdoor into a hall of mirrors. Now, this part's actually pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, no.
After monologuing, they leave to prep Torch's demise, when Torch creates a flame doppelganger of himself. And then he turns white hot and flies through the mirrors until he's out and in a room where he hides to regain his power.
Right.
As the baddie duo fill the room with liquid to kill the Torch, they realize the Torch sitting there is just a fake, just in time for Torch to come in and fire lasso them for the police to arrest them. And then we end with the kids at school apologizing to Johnny for doubting him. And Johnny remembers that he still has to study. Yeah.
Fuck me. I hate math.
I ended up giving this a 3 out of 5. It is, in my opinion, the worst story of the week. Which is normal for Human Torch, by the way.
But it was a decent one.
But it's still not terrible.
It's not terrible.
The Hall of Mirrors was pretty cool.
Right.
And if they would have just not monologued to tell him what the fuck they were going to do, they probably would have killed him. Villains. Ooh. Stop saying what you're going to do.
Because let me tell you, this would have been a fantastic 3 out this bitch. Because they got it. Yeah, I gave it a 3 out of 5 as well. It was a redemption. For Lord, man. Jeez.
For letting Paste Pot Pete go in the first fucking place.
And how the hell he get into prison? Whoever got in prison should be my MVP. Because at least his ass went to prison. This man literally had him in a fiery vortex of hell. And like just dipped on a fucking plane and said bye. So I'm happy that he did get redemption. I mean, it still wasn't a decent... It was an okay story. It was an okay story for what it was worth. So yeah, I give it 3 out of 5 for what he was given.
Next up, in issue 109, C story, you're going to meet Doctor Strange, a random guy that needs help, Nightmare, and Master, who I'm thinking is the Sorcerer Supreme, but they're not calling him that.
Right now at least.
They're just calling him the Master.
Right.
Or Master.
Right.
Anyways. So, we start with a guy having a nightmare. He realizes he needs help, so he heads to Doctor Strange.
Right.
The man goes to Strange's home, and he tells him what's going on with his nightmares. Strange tells him to go home. He will visit later.
Right.
Strange also projects to see the Master, which I put in parentheses, Sorcerer Supreme, ? Who tells him one day Strange will have to take his place.
Right. Yep.
So yeah, he's a Sorcerer Supreme. I just answered my question.
That's some Doctor Strange MCU stuff. Like, you gotta take my place.
Right. And Strange is like, I will prove that I am worthy.
Right.
Just not this issue.
No, hell no.
So later, Strange comes to the man's house and has him go to sleep and enters his dream where he confronts the ghost that's wrapped in chains. I'm glad we were not getting the Christmas story here.
Oh my god.
Although that is one of the few Christmas stories that I do like.
Yeah. Yeah. Scrooge. Yeah.
And he said that the demonic entity said that he is the symbol of the evil things that the man has done.
Man, you Freddy Krueger?
And then suddenly, Nightmare shows up. Now here's the thing: they don't actually show Nightmare.
No,
you only see a shadow of him.
Which, damn.
But he does become one of Strange's main villains throughout comics.
Right. Which hopefully we might see one day.
That would be nice.
Right. That would be nice.
See you.
Yeah.
So the man wakes up and now feels Strange knows too much and decides he's going to try and kill Doctor Strange. Mm-hmm. So he goes to his little dresser. He gets a gun out. Nightmare then tells Strange of his impending doom.
Right. Strange
then calls out to his master again. Nightmare, shut the fuck up and just let it happen.
Yep, that's twice that villains are monologuing.
Villains are dumb.
I would have thought he would just let it happen, but he's like, yes, we're going to shoot Strange. And Strange's like, you do
he's
like to hear you.
Well, no, he's like, your mortal body is in danger.
Right.
And that's when he's like, oh, 1 minute.
Right. He did a Saved by the Bell moment. He did a Saved by the Bell moment.
He did a...
Next time a teenager. Are you going to say tweet?
No, it was, remember Nick Fury in What If?
Oh, yeah.
Hold on.
Hold up,
Loki. Yeah?
Yeah. Uh-huh. No, I was thinking like what he did Deadpool with the are you gonna handle this? He's like, you sent a tweet out. Okay.
Right.
That's really why are you monologues? Monologues doesn't get you nowhere, bro. Like that's why it doesn't work in movies as much either.
So Doctor Strange 1-800 collects
1-8
out to his master for help.
That's it.
And his master uses his energy to activate the amulet that Strange is wearing, which is the Eye of Agamotto.
Bro,
Strange does not know that it's the Eye of Agamotto.
Right. But that's cool. Like he looks like the tires you saw like we see in the MCU actually. Right. Damn, head to toe. They got it right on that one.
And the eye that pops up freezes the man in place.
Yeah.
Strange dodges Nightmare's attack in the dream, escapes the dream, and goes back to his body.
I said the body? Okay.
Demanding from the man the truth. And the man admits he robbed Krang in his business and admits that he will confess. And so here's the thing. I gave this little story a 3 out of 5.
I give it a 4.
I'm excited that they're introducing Doctor Strange, but the ending of the story
I know it was kind of cheesy.
So dumb.
But it was kind of funny. That's why I gave it 4 out of 5.
And so...
cheese. Yeah.
Anticlimactic.
Right.
He's like, oh, I dodged your one attack, Nightmare. Let me escape my dream and go see what the fuck this guy's problem is.
Right.
And I just... It was a good story. It's not the best introduction for a character. I'm more excited about what Strange's stories are going to be moving forward.
Right.
Because every Strange Tales we do now is going to have a Human Torch and a Doctor Strange story.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Until they start getting their own
stuff.
Well, Human Torch
Doctor
already has
Strange.
his own.
Right.
Except it's shared with other people.
That he doesn't like.
That none of us like.
Right. And every time he asks to join, they call him a bitch.
Actually, the Fantastic Four is really good.
No, yeah, they're okay.
I understand more why people actually like them now.
I told you
than I
and
ever
I've been
did
saying
before.
this since we've been starting this comic. I said I can see why people want more. They've been saying print that shit, print all of it.
I remember before reading any of these comics, I have literally spent most of my 35 years on this earth thinking how dumb the Fantastic Four as a team are.
I mean, well, yeah, now thinking about it.
I like Thing,
right,
but that's it. I'm not even a fan of the Human Torch.
Right.
Like, I've always liked the Thing because I've always liked that, it's always clobbering time, and I'm there for that.
Right.
But, like, the more I've read these comics, the more I'm like, they've actually got some good stories.
I mean, they actually remember, we read one literally that they were getting fan mail saying, hey, we need to get more issues, bring more up. Like, because they were wanting to bring more. And Stan Lee was just, okay, here's this one. Here's this one. Here's the script for that one. Like, because he's writing the script. He's like, take it. Because he's printing them out left and right.
Right. Now, last week, this was where we were going to stop. We had told you guys this was going to be the last issue. But again, since those two were basically in one issue, so it was 2 stories in one issue, we tacked on one more. So we are also going to cover Journey into Mystery, number 94, which is called Thor and Loki Attack the Human Race. This ended up being a way better issue than I thought it was at first.
Bro, I thought it was going to be Thor and Loki literally attacking the fucking human race.
And it was.
Which is crazy. Goddamn.
So anyways, it was published July 1st, 1963, written by Stanley and R. Burns, penciled and inked by Jay Sennett.
Oh, that's a new person. Yep. I don't think we never...
No, I think Jay Sennett did one of them last week.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, did we ever hear about that? Okay.
As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure he did Journey into Mystery last week. So moving on, the characters you're going to meet in this, honestly, it's just a bunch of returning people. Dr. Donald Blake / Thor, Loki, Heimdall, Odin, and then Jane's not in this one, so she's not listed as a character.
Right.
She's got the week off or some weird shit.
Is that what we go? She had
that's what they said in the comics. Like he was like, "Good thing Jane's not here and she's busy doing other things."
I thought maybe when I read that, I was like, "Wait, did she pull a double at the
double triple
at the hospital? Because
right.
That's what she works at, or whatever the hell she work at."
So we start with a nuke being sent to space to test an explosion, and it wiles out of control. An SOS is sent out for Thor to help, and when he does, then he does. While Thor is stopping the missile, we see this is a part of Loki's plan, who's using remote magic to control the missile. As Thor throws the hammer and destroys the rocket, it flies back, and Loki distracts him at the last second, causing the hammer to hit Thor in the back of the head.
Right.
Changing his personality to be the opposite of what it is. Loki then calls out for Thor to come and save him. Thor returns to Asgard, pimp slaps the shit out of Heimdall on the way past him.
Bro, that backhand was ferocious. Like, I'm just imagining...
Heimdall's like, what are you doing?
Bam!
Get out of my way.
Right, like... and I wish...
He's like, you don't do nothing but watch this bridge anyways.
Right, and you a bitch. And I'm a particular man. A strong man. Get the fuck out the way. Like, if he had said that shit from the... I'm like, so that's where they got it from. I'm a particular man. And I don't like your face. Bam!
Right.
Like, he just slapped me. Yep.
So then he flies up to Loki, rips his shackles off. Odin and the remaining council confront them, and Loki and Thor plan to rule Asgard.
Yeah.
However, they will force Odin to hand it over willingly by fucking Earth up, because in the comics, Odin actually loves the human race a lot. Yeah. Odin flips out and goes to choke Loki, ladies and gentlemen.
Bro, let me tell you, I swear, bro, I thought Thor was going to MVP, bro. He back him. I didn't think. And then even next one, it's like, wait a minute. So we go from this backhand to a Bart Simpson choke.
He Bart Simpson chokes
Loki.
Loki.
Oh my god, this is the funniest shit, bro.
Thor ends up stopping him, and then they fly.
I want to just let him keep going. Get like another more issues. Damn, he still keep going. Couple of panels.
So then they fly to Earth and just fuck shit up.
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah.
Pyramids, Eiffel Tower, Leaning Tower of Pisa, dams, walls.
Yeah, they were breaking. They were almost
buildings,
like causing their own mass destruction.
Storms, and that's just what Thor did.
Yeah.
And then Loki starts sending the Sphinx through the streets of Egypt.
Yep, because he's just doing magic.
Conjures up sea serpents and just causes mass terror. Dude.
People died that day. They just didn't tell nobody.
Are fucking shit up.
People died that day.
They are destroying everything humans hold dear.
Right.
And landmarks. Period. Oh, dude.
Loki's like, you're gonna choke me like a bitch. Well, I'm gonna fuck the Earth like a bitch.
And it was at this point in the story I started getting a really bad feeling. I'm like, if this is just Donald having a bad dream, I'm going to be
this will be a 1 out of 5.
So mad.
1 out of 5 without hesitation.
So mad.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, maybe it's hallucination. Maybe it was like he wakes up or something.
So members of the UN come waving their little white flag, saying that they have studied the Norse mythology and wish to beg Odin to surrender. Thor and Loki like that idea, and they go back to the UN. Inside, Thor destroys the UN symbol on the wall by throwing his hammer, and as he does, a trapdoor opens up and he falls in. The hammer floats over the trapdoor, and then flies into the trapdoor, hitting Thor in the back of the head.
Right.
The UN people reveal themselves to be Odin and the rest of the council.
Right, the council.
Dressed up as UN people.
Which that's interesting.
Which I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And as Loki is about to use magic to fight them off, he catches the hammer to the back of his head. Because Thor was like, look here, bitch.
He did do it. He went, bat. So like, oh, you've been choked out. You got concussed, bitch. You got double hit.
Loki is then captured. The Norse gods repair all the damage that was done in the world, and then make humanity forget this ever happened. So it might as well be as bad as a dream.
Right. Well, I mean, yeah.
Thor is then worried about Loki escaping again. Odin says that as long as Thor is around, humanity will be okay. At the end of the day, I gave this a 3 out of 5. I wanted to give it a 4 out of 5. Yeah. But the whole, we made humanity forget that this ever happened thing dragged it down for me. Just a point. I was like, it was almost a good ending.
Damn it. And I wanted to give it a 4. Or I wanted to. I was going to say like 3.5, maybe almost. And it's almost, if you want to be blunt, it's almost a 2.5. So I'd say 3, but it's almost. Yeah, it's almost a 2, actually. Goddamn, this is better. The Human Torch was better than this one, actually.
It's
goddamn.
A good story.
Yeah, no.
It's just the ending killed it for me.
The ending was bad because you're basically now saying, well, everybody was in La La Land, so there's like, we got hit with the stick from Men in Black.
Right. Okay. All right, Ralph. The cat says hello.
Hello. The cat says hi.
All right. So, Ralph, it is that time of day, that time of stream or recording, whatever.
Right.
Where we now have to figure out what is your MVP for week 14.
Well, and I don't know if I was mumbling to myself. I said at first it was going to be Human Torch because at first it was because he did redemption arc, but it was still missing something because he still those villains should have been put to jail a long time ago. Then I was going to go to Thor. Bro, the way he backhanded the fuck out of Heimdall, and Heimdall was like, damn, he gave him the ferocious of justice. And I was like, well, yeah, but that's the story being Thor. It has to be Odin, bro, because he choked the shit out of... That was something unexpected, because for me, we're reading these comics, right? But I'm looking at, Thor from the MCU and Odin. I've never seen Odin actually ever did some shit like that.
No, like, the MCU actually makes him look like he really cared for Loki.
Right.
And in these comics, he does not.
Bro.
He's made it clear, abundantly clear, time and time again. He's like, Thor is my favorite son. Loki, you're a piece of shit.
Right. I mean, he's making it, like, very fucking clear. And then, like... But it was just something it seemed like that, but for me, I just thought that was kind of out of character. I was like, next panel, choked off. Like, bro, everybody chill, y'all. We got 3 deaths right now, and you doing shit, and then he just gets hit with the hammer.
As a matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen, the picture for the Week 14 MVP is actually the picture of when he's in the process of choking Odin.
Dude.
Now, it only shows Odin's face. Yeah. But look at the eyes. Look at Odin's eyes here.
Almost death.
He wanted to kill Loki.
And if we had saw the next panel, Loki is dead. I mean, anybody not see that coming, bro? He kept go to sleep. Go to sleep.
At some point, they do finally retcon in, and I know this for a fact, of him actually really caring for Loki.
Right.
We've seen that because, again, we started off doing Thor, Prince of Asgard, or King of Asgard, or whatever the fuck, Prince of Asgard, I think that's what it's called, which was a small 12-issue run showing some of them as kids.
Right.
And Odin obviously cared for Loki in that storyline.
Yeah, he did. He didn't like the antics that he was doing. He really, like you say, treated him like a son that he had to discipline, but never just straight up like, I'm about to put my fucking foot in your ass, literally, and choke the shit out of you. Thank you.
Right.
But yeah, it's Odin, just Odin being Odin. So that's my wild and crazy pick. And now, did I pick? This is my second hero I think I've ever picked. I'm always picking one-off villains because, heroes are stupid.
Right. Which brings us back to the Marvel Trivia question of the week. When Korvac travels to Earth during the Korvac saga, what first name does he take? Do you want to guess? It's just pick a name.
Oh, dear. Is it the Mandarin?
No.
Damn it.
He goes by Michael. Michael Korvac.
Hey, that's cool.
And, yeah, there you go. There's the answer. He looks cool too.
Oh, nice.
Anyways, so
what did you think about overall? Like you said, not bad comics. Had a little hiccups here and there, but overall,
yeah, not bad.
Can't wait for next week. We're gonna have some fun with that too. But I enjoyed them.
Next week, so we were actually prematurely excited. We thought next week we were getting the first X-Men. It's actually the week after, which is kind of a bummer. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It's a little bit of a bummer.
Right.
But what we are going to cover is we're going to do Tales to Astonish, which brings back Egghead to fight against AntMan and the Wasp.
Oh shit, Egghead, he was there from like
a few weeks ago, several weeks ago.
Several weeks ago, he was like issue 3 or 4, maybe 4. Yeah.
And then we're going to get Tales of Suspense, where Iron Man is going to fight Kala, Queen of the Netherworld.
He's gonna try to stay on that planet or stay in the Netherworld.
And then we're going to get a Fantastic Four issue where the Fantastic Four battle the Mad Thinker and his awesome android. Hey, the Thinker. And then we're going to get Strange Tales, which is another Human Torch story, where it's going to be split into 2 stories. One is him fighting to the death with Asbestos Man, and then we are going to get Doctor Strange comes face to face with the magic of Baron Mordo.
You know what? I'm digging the Doctor Strange and I'm digging the Human Torch one. Because it's... Well, hold on.
Asbestos Man.
Bro, he gonna... And this is what I said. Yo, watch this thing in a 1 out of 5. You got me fucked up. I got you. Asbestos, I cannot flame on. Please, Fantastic Four, help me. I cannot flame on right now. Yo, he gonna cry, bro. He said, please help me.
So then, after the Doctor Strange, we get 2 back-to-back Fantastic Four issues.
Right.
Both of which are them fighting against Doctor Doom, and it's kind of a to-be-continued type thing.
Right, because supposedly he's been shrunk to an atom, or to nothingness, so they're gonna find, he's gonna find himself to get out.
Last time we seen him, he got disappeared. He went subatomic.
Subatomic. He went to the quantum realm.
So, that is how we are going to be doing this week. And again, I'm super excited for this.
These are not bad, man.
This is... So, the Fantastic Fours and the Strange Tales, I think, are going to be really good. Or at least the Strange Tales Doctor Strange story. I think Asbestos Man is going to be dumb as fuck. I'm not even going to lie to you.
You see what I'm saying? You know what type of game this is going to be. I'd rather just skip that and read the Mortal one.
And honestly, I'm excited to see what happens with Jane and Henry now that they're actually in a full issue together in terms of as a team. I know we're not too far off from him starting to do Giant Man instead of being Ant-Man.
Right, because there are kind of hinting it though, because some of the issues they're hinting like, well, he's trying to mix something together, trying to make himself get a little bigger and whatnot instead of just shrinking himself.
Right. So we'll see that. I think the overall dumbest issue or the dumbest story, honestly, is probably going to be the Fantastic Four battle the Mad Thinker and his awesome android. I don't care about androids. I always think they're dumb stories, except for Ultron. The Ultron story is going to be good.
Yeah,
whenever we get there in like 6 years.
The legit age.
She's playing with the 20-ounce bottle that I threw over there.
I knew she was going to that bitch. I knew it. But whenever we get to that, because that's going to be the real Age of Ultron. Real Age of Ultron.
And you'll see, and then we'll get to actually see why people were so pissed off at the movie.
Right. Even though I like the movie more, but I'll take a gander at it.
But yeah, so overall, 7 total stories, 6 issues, coming again next week. And then the week after, we get our first X-Men.
Let's go. Hawkeye and X-Men. This is going to be great.
Yes.
Or next week.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and end it here.
Yeah.
Looking forward to next week. Again, congratulations, Odin, for making the MVP.
For choking people. Just
That's violent.
I want to see more people in the issue just get choked. Just like, they will be MVPs forever. Just like, yo, we got somebody getting choked. Iron Man is literally choking out a prisoner.
I like how the very first MVP was Odin.
Right.
Because he was smart enough to get people to cry to save Thor's life.
Right.
And that was my choice. And then Ralph's like, I'm picking Odin because he choked Loki.
Right. Well, I just feel like also I picked Odin too because I think he just had fed up of Loki's games right now because he broke out of prison. I feel like he's like a real abusive parent. He's like, you broke out. Okay, bro. That's your warning.
I told you he Homer Simpson the shit out of
Right. He broke out again. I'm going to put my hands on you. He said, I'm Loki. I'm the king of God out here. Did it. I can't breathe.
I think it's about time to give Loki a lobotomy. I'm just saying.
Right.
Stop the bullshit.
Just stop the bullshit. Because y'all know it seems like y'all want to kill this Loki off, apparently. So fuck it, man.
Right. All right, guys. So with that being said, we will see you all next week for a bundle of what should be somewhat decent, but probably a couple shitty comics.
That's best. It's gonna be garbage.
Yeah, Asbestos Man.
That sounds like. I mean, and who knows? It might be good. But right now, I don't care. And like the Android, but I'm tripping on that one right there. Asbestos Man, like, that's gonna attract all kind of fun. I can't. Right. He gonna do a decoy, and then he's like, "Bitch, you ain't gonna leave this little area, right?"
Right.
Damn it.
But all right, guys. So with that being said, we love y'all. We'll see you all next week. Excelsior.
Boom.
And don't forget Hawkeye next week.
Hawkeye next week, guys.
Well, technically this week.
Oh yeah,
it was earlier this week.
We
talk about Hawkeye next Monday.
Next Monday we do. It's gonna be so much fun.
Peace.
Peace. Latest.